Hey everyone, Brian Shapleigh coming at you here again. Just wanted to talk to you about a few things that were on my mind, and it's one of the things that, this principle and these ideas can really help you achieve success in anything if you implement them and use them to your advantage. And so a lot of people, they always ask, and I've asked this question myself as well, is how can I be successful? What is it going to take to be successful? The great thing about success is it is for anyone. Literally, if you can apply the right principles of success, it doesn't matter where you come from or what your background is or what business venture or what job you decide you want to pursue. These principles can work for you. And so some of you may be familiar with them, others you might not, but it comes from a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. I'm sure many people have at least heard the name, but in one of his books, actually I think it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he talks about the three things that are needed in order to be successful. He's obviously talking about wealth, but this can be success in general. And there's three ideas. The first idea is long-term vision, the second is delayed gratification, and the third one is the power of compounding. So when you look at these things, to be successful, the first thing you got to do is you got to have long-term vision. You got to be willing to invest the time that it's going to take over the long haul to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So, an example might just be setting a goal. And, don't worry initially if it's not 10 years down the road or 50 years down the road. These things can come with practice, but just start with something like a 90-day goal or maybe a 6-month goal, maybe a 12-month goal. Keep it in maybe a year range, because a year seems like a long time, but how many times have we got to our next birthday and thought, man, that year went by so fast? So a year may be a good place to start. Use that as your initial long-term vision if you've never actually pursued something like this. And so start with that and then break down your vision into smaller goals that you want to accomplish. Now, keep in mind, look, if you set a huge goal and you're not on track after the 1 month or 2 month goal, don't worry about it. Just keep going, keep pursuing the next, step. Approach it as a stair step. Don't focus on the big, huge goal. Just focus on that next step. But understand that you have to have those steps to your ultimate goal, and that's your long-term vision. So you have to have that if you want to be successful, because success takes time. There's no such thing as an overnight success. You have to put in time over the long haul, and having a long-term vision for what you want is going to help you accomplish fulfilling that first principle. The second principle is delayed gratification. And so this is a hard one for everyone to do, myself included. I know that I've been guilty of, not delaying my gratification and pursuing something that may not be in my best interest towards my long-term vision in the short term for something that I really wanted. And that's really why you have to have the long-term vision, because that's going to allow you to put off the delayed gratification in order to keep pursuing your goal over the long haul. And so, an example of delayed gratification may be, you're trying to hit, say, a business goal, and you know that every Friday night you and your buddies go out and you have a great time and it's a lot of fun. But you know that if you do that every Friday and Saturday night, you may be taking away productive time that you could be if you decide to stay in some of those nights. Now, this is just an example, but again, we've all done this. We've all, had a goal and it starts to get kind of tough, and instead of hunkering down and continuing to do the work consistently, which is really one of the secrets of success, we go towards something that is easy and comfortable and helps get our mind off of the fact that maybe we're not on track towards our goals. And so that's one of the reasons why you really have to have that long-term vision. And it's got to be something that motivates you so that it can sustain you, and you have to be committed. That's the point of delayed gratification. You'll never be able to delay your gratification long enough if you're not truly committed to your long-term vision. So again, when you're making these plans, make it something worthwhile to you. Go as big as you can possibly get in the time frame that you've set for yourself, and be committed to that, because that's what's going to allow you to make those tough decisions between going towards something that's comfortable and maybe fun, but is it really going to progress you towards your long-term vision, or are you going to continue to pursue what you want long-term? Because ultimately, doing the work up front can set you up for years and years down the road. So when you can combine those two things with this last idea of the power of compounding, that's when you can really start to see success over time. So the power of compounding is something that really no one takes into effect, because if you're not committed, you're not going to delay your gratification. And if you don't have a long-term vision, you're never going to get to that point of committing to that vision anyways, long enough to even approach being able to delay gratification. And so the power of compounding is one of the secrets of success. I believe it is the secret of success that not a lot of people actually know about. And that's simply the daily actions that you do over time build up and create basically a big snowball of momentum. The issue is you never see that snowball of momentum until you actually get to that point. It requires a lot of faith and a lot of diligence to get to that point. The best example that's always used in this analogy is the idea of a penny doubling every single day for 30 days. So if you take a penny and it compounds on itself, day 1 it's 1 penny, day 2 it's 2 pennies, day 3 it's 4 pennies, so on and so forth. Well, you think about that for your journey of success. When you're on day 15 and you've exponentially compounded that penny 15 times, you have $163. So halfway through your journey, you've literally made less than $200. And I know that everyone feels this way when they're on that journey towards something they really want, that long-term vision. You've delayed your gratification and you're 50% of the way there, but yet you have not a lot to show for it. And that can be discouraging, but that's where most people give up. That's really where you got to hunker down, because if you continue to compound that penny for the next 15 days, by day 30, you have over $5 million. Okay? And even on day 29, it's barely over $1 million, I believe. Actually, no, I guess it would be 2 million. But at day, I think 28, it's still under $1 million. And so really, to get to that point where you get to $5 million, you have to work and work and work and work and work and work. It's only till you get to the end that you actually see all those compounding efforts that you did over time, delaying your gratification, continuing to push on towards your long-term vision, that the dam finally breaks and everything comes flooding forward. And that's when you start to really hit your big goals. That's when it starts to go downhill. It picks up momentum. The work that you're doing is getting easier and easier, and you're expanding and compounding your results. And that's when it gets really fun, is those same actions that you did are now producing double, triple, quadruple the results, but you're still doing the same action. And so that, like I said, I think that's the most important aspect of success, is that principle of compounding. But you have to have the long-term vision. You have to be committed to it. You have to delay your gratification, have faith and trust in the process that those compounding actions that you do day after day will get you to where you want to go. So hope this helps you guys. If you want to check out any more of my videos, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.